Hey everyone, this is Dennis in the garage, and I was thinking the other day about a bunch of different types of tools that will make maintenance on your old car a little bit easier and take the guessing game out of a few things. I'm going to give you 5 tools that are going to make diagnosing and repairing your classic or even your modern car a heck of a lot easier. And few of these people just forget exist. So let's get started with number 1 at this point, because this is something that will make your life a hell of a lot easier. When you have to remove a hose on a car, whether it be a heater hose or your radiator hose, bypass hose, they always get stuck on there from being clamped. This is a hose pick. They're inexpensive. You can buy them at yard sales. You can buy them at swap meets. You can buy them on Amazon. They have a little curved tip. It's blunt. It's not sharp. And the best thing about this is that you go in to the hose and just kind of go around the circumference of it to break the seal against the aluminum or copper or steel that it's connected to. Because especially on your heater hoses against a firewall, those suckers are very thin. And if you try to pull or twist, you will break it. So this makes it so you can break that seal very easily. Inexpensive, heck of an easy tool. It has other uses too, which is nice because you can use it as a pick, different things. It's not a unitasker, it's a multitasker. Very good thing. Plus, I just keep it right up here on my magnetic tray, and it's always, always, always available. Now, the second thing is for us carburetor guys, because you have to set the floats in your carburetor. So unless it's a Holly, then you just let the gasoline leak all over the intake manifold. But if you have a carburetor where you have to set the floats off the car, when you buy the kit, they give you this piece of paper with little numbers on it that always gets worn on the end. Total, I mean, it's maybe good for one use. So what I have is this is a 6-inch precision ruler. They're on Amazon. I'll put the link below. And if you look, it has everything down in 30 seconds or 16ths. And most of the time when you do your carburetor, the float height's usually done in 30 seconds. And so what you do is you set the bar, you set that bar like it's at 1 inch. And you measure, it's a nice flat surface. You just measure it up, and it makes setting those float heights super easy. Also, if you have vents that you have to set or any other type of adjustments that are a part of the cover, like the choke, it's tall enough that it could actually even do choke heights because it's 6 inches tall. Most choke heights are like 4. So this is a pretty neat tool. They're dirt cheap. This, I'm gonna demonstrate this also. This is a brake liquid tester. So it's a brake fluid tester that they sell on Amazon, and it's battery powered. See? What this does is on .3 and .4 brake fluid, it shows how much water as a percentage of the brake fluid is in there. And water in your brake fluid is a really bad thing. And they say to change your brake fluid every 2 years because of water intrusion, because it's hydroscopic. Because of that, water getting in there does 2 things. First, it makes it react with the rubber and causes it to break down. And it breaks down the seal, especially if you have drum brakes on the rear brake pistons, which usually go out every couple of years. It also damages the soft rubber lines that go in the back, and it can cause rust in the system, which will absolutely just make it not work. So this is a really inexpensive thing, and I will show you in a second how it works on my E30, because that still has .4 in it, because on any lock cars, you can't use the really good .5 silicone, which does not absorb water, which actually is water repellent. So let's go see how this works. The thing is, This fluid is hydroscopic. It will absorb water. I did a full flush on this a little over a year ago. And we're going to test it with this tester. Pull the probes out. See, it has probes on the end. Set you there. It's on. So we take this off. Now, the bad thing about this fluid is it eats paint also. That's why I don't recommend using it in a classic car if you don't have to. But now classic cars are, anything over 30 years old. A lot of those now have anti-lock brakes in them, and you can't use .5. So we'll turn this on again. We'll put it in the fluid. And mine is reading between 1% and 2%. Like I said, I did this over a year ago. It has basically gotten to the point where it is starting to absorb water. Once it goes above 2%, it's time to actually do a full flush on it again. Very simple. So you can also use this tool, to test containers of .3 or .4 you put in your closet. Because I have put away a giant container of .4. And most of the time, the conventional wisdom is to throw it away as soon as you open it, which at this point is pretty expensive to buy .3 and .4. And so what you can do is you pour it into a little cup and test it with this and see if there's any water in it. I actually have a bottle in there I've opened 4 months ago. I sealed it tight. It's still good. There's still no water in the fluid. So I can still use it and not have to buy another bottle. So that's another good use for this this tester. And I'll show you what happens if you use it on silicone. Okay, I'm going to show you. This is .5 silicone, and show you the difference here. Zero. This fluid is like 15 years old. So there's the huge difference between silicone and .3 or .4. .5 is, if you can use it, honestly, go ahead, because it doesn't absorb any water. So as you can see, that's why you're supposed to use .5. It has no water in it. It won't absorb water. It pushes out, and it keeps the rubber nice and soft. So there you go. Let's go back to the list. Well, we're about halfway through this list, and I hope you're getting some of this. Please, comment below on any type of tools that you use that, make things easier, that people just either don't know about or forgotten about. And also, if you're getting anything, just hit the like, and if you want more, hit subscribe. I'm trying to grow basically a little bit of a car community here. And whether it be American or imported, because car people are car people. So let's continue on with the list. Number 4 right here is something that most of us don't even think about buying until we actually have to need them. And this is a go-through socket set. This one was bought at Harbor Freight. They're under $20. They have a lot of uses. If you have a long bolt that's longer than your extension, and you don't want to use a wrench on it. And actually, they come very much in handy when you're doing shocks on the car or struts, because they let the bolt go through the hole. You're able to actually tighten it properly instead of trying to sit there with a wrench and turning, especially on struts, because, cars that have struts in them are now over 30 years old. So this is a pretty useful tool. And honestly, it has made my life a lot easier doing this, especially the shock tower, the shocks on a B-body Chrysler. They are really difficult because they come up, the bolts come up much higher than a deep socket. And to get them truly tight, you need to have this pass through. And I'll put the link for this. I get this at Harbor Freight. Works wonderful, has a lifetime warranty. So there's that. Now, the final piece of technology that'll help us is something that has steadily improved and has gotten better. This is an inspection camera. And I know a lot of people want to use them. They have the app for their phone and they plug into the USB. I've tried those. Those are junk. This is from a few years ago, and it's actually, I got it on Amazon. I'll put a link to see if it's still available. It's an industrial boroscope. It charges by USB, so it doesn't have external batteries. And you can check anything. I have gone in, I had a video where I went into my gas tank, and it went with the probe in the gas tank. It has no sparks, no nothing, won't set fire to it. You can check inside cylinders. You can check inside, inside your carburetor. You can look down into your cooling system. There are a lot of uses for this thing. Or if you did like I did, and I dropped a rubber grommet in between the body panel and the unit body, they had these little tools you can do where you can go find it. And I took the little hook and I was able to pull this body plug out of that tiny little area with this. Absolutely one of the best things I've ever bought to be able to diagnose things. When looking in cylinders, though, this really can help if you think you have oil intrusion or you have carbon buildup, anything of that nature inside your cylinder. This will help immensely. And they've come down in price. So, a decent one like this is like $50 now. Really not a lot of money to spend to be able to actually truly know if something is right or wrong where you can't normally see. And best of all, you can actually record on these onto a micro SD card and take that micro SD card, put it on your computer, and have it on a bigger screen to see it. Absolutely fabulous kind of stuff. So those are a bonus, and this is a really neat one. And people just don't remember to buy these. This is a remote starter. I like the style with the gun handle because it's a little easier to hold. There's a button style, but this one's nice and big. And the way this works is very simple. Basically, you're jumping your starter relay. The starter relay is right up against, the inner fender. And I actually have a spare starter relay here. And what you're doing is that you're going from the hot to the ignition on, and it's hard to do without the wires there. And what you're doing is just computing the circuit. This is a lot easier than just taking a screwdriver and going across, trust me. Also, that's a little scary sometimes because it sparks. This won't spark. It just makes it start and go. And honestly, that will really make your life 1,000 times easier. So there we go. There's our 5 little tools diagnosing and working our car a heck of a lot easier. And let me know. Let me know in the comments below any type of specialty tools that you use on your car that make it a little bit easier to do something, because I'm always curious about that. And if you got anything from this, hit like, hit subscribe, and share it, please, because this is a community, and as I can with their classic cars, just passing anything I've learned or things that other people have told me to kind of help you with your cars. So as always, if you have, I'm going to go look at that. If you have something cool to drive, something fun to drive, hey, take it out, because you'll make someone's day, probably your own. And I'll catch you really soon.